I'm Howard Schoor, artist, triangulist. I'm 79 years old, and I guess that's not so unusual for an artist, but I just began to paint at the age of 77. I was a collector long before I was a creator of art. I collected art because in the mid-'80s, I built a modern contemporary home, which was basically an architectural creation that needed art to enhance its beauty. And in the process of decorating, I became infatuated with the concept of contemporary art and how it improved and enhanced the architectural features of a residence. In the process of collecting art, I visited galleries and museums throughout the United States and in Europe as well. And I used to look at the contemporary art and marvel at its beauty, and at the same time say to myself, I could do that. Well, this was in the mid-'80s. It took me until 2016 to see if I could really do that. And I started to paint geometric contemporary art. And in the process of creating the art, I became infatuated with what I was doing and what I saw as the beauty of my work. And from that, here I am, Howard Schoor, artist triangulist. You may ask, what is a triangulist? A triangulist is a word I coined to describe my work because in the process of collecting contemporary art, I determined that the most successful and famous artists' work was all easily recognizable. And I determined that for each of the pieces of work that I do, I would include the triangle. You may ask, why the triangle and not a square or a circle? Well, I am a civil engineer by training. In the early days of my education and my career as an engineer, the triangle was a significant tool of the trade. As a matter of fact, I started my own engineering firm in 1967, and it just almost coincidentally that the logo that was developed for the engineering firm included 3 triangles. I never realized this until I started painting and had predetermined that the triangle was the symbol that would be the recognizable element of my artwork. I hope in a period of time, when people look at my art, they'll say, that's a Schoor, and that trianglism and triangulist is associated with my artwork. To me, the triangle doesn't have a deeper meaning, so don't look for it within my art, because it is what it is. I think one of the motivations that propel me in pursuing my career as an artist and a triangulist is I believe that I can be successful as a collectible and recognizable artist. As a collector, I was always turned off by art pricing and the lack of transparency in how prices are arrived at and determined. Art pricing 30 years ago was a 3-card Monte, and today it still is a 3-card Monte. It is the biggest game run and the one with the least transparency. I will attempt in my own way to change what has always been a sore subject to collectors. I will post on my website the price my art has sold for and the price of what the next similar piece of art will be sold for. This provides the opposite of what has always happened. How can a piece of art, as is the case with a Warhol, go from a value of $30,000 or $40,000 to $2.3 million? That is what I will try to preclude in the sale of my art, that the buyers of what I create will be able to see what the last piece sold for and what the next piece will sell for. Currently, I've created a substantial volume of art, which is now only being offered directly through my online gallery, howardshorart.com, and you could follow the progress of my movement and the pricing of the art. Because I am selling the art myself, I am donating 25% of the proceeds of all sales of original art to a recognized 501(c) charity. Currently, I have donated to the American Heart Association, Collier Youth Services, and Mary's Place by the Sea. I also have determined that on commissioned work, I will make the donation to a charity chosen by the purchaser.